I've only got 3 words for you. I'm taking over! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome indeed to SmackTalk, and do not change your channels. It is indeed your host with the most, Nate the effing great, taking over the show. Unfortunately, due to some technical difficulties, Spencer and Max were not able to run the show last night, so I took it upon myself to fill in for this position this week. And you know what? It's going to be effing great because we're talking about SmackDown Live. And honestly, SmackDown was pretty good, to say the least. I can't say that there's not really too much things to complain about. Well, maybe one thing. But we'll get to that when we get to it. So let's start off SmackDown with a little bit of Shinsuke Nakamura. He kicks off the show, and he is about to get interviewed by Renee Young. Unfortunately, the problem was that a Dolph Ziggler came in. And Dolph Ziggler comes out, and he takes over the interview stating, well, that, Shinsuke Nakamura, who is some people that you look up to, who is somebody that you idolize, who's somebody that you just, he goes on and on and on just about this whole entire ordeal. And it just basically winds up of being Dolph Ziggler praising himself and making it seem like he is the best thing since sliced bread, and But he then goes on to insult Shinsuke Nakamura's accent, his look, comparing him to Michael Jackson, throwing a Michael Jackson joke in there, which was actually pretty different. And I'm not going to really complain about it. I thought it was actually kind of awesome. Basically, they're making Dolph Ziggler actually look like a real heel. Nakamura eventually gets the mic back, and he says to Dolph Ziggler, "What is your problem?" Dolph Ziggler starts to speak, but then Nakamura repays the favor, and he says, "I will answer the question for you." And he talks in a little bit of Japanese, I believe, before calling him a jackass. And honestly, you guys, that was pretty funny. It's one of those things where I never thought that I would actually hear the phrase jackass being put on, of course, WWE television, because they're a PG show, so what do you expect? But they did it, so in all honesty, totally okay with that. Dolph Ziggler went on to attack Shinsuke Nakamura, tries to beat him down, and then tries to go for the super kick. Nakamura counters with his reverse suplex, and eventually he goes for the Kinshasa, but Dolph Ziggler eventually got out of the way, thankfully, I guess. And then they just have a bit of a stare down. They're definitely hyping up Nakamura versus Dolph Ziggler. It is more than likely going to happen at the Backlash pay-per-view. It's going to be an awesome matchup. This is one of the first few times where it's just like, I kind of want to see Dolph Ziggler's head get kicked off by Shinsuke Nakamura, because A, Nakamura can do it, and B, Dolph Ziggler is actually being a heel. C, they're actually making a storyline that works. I mean, Dolph Ziggler's being insulting to Nakamura, so Nakamura says, well, I will return the favor by insulting you back, and then Dolph Ziggler attacks him, thus allowing Nakamura to say, hey, I will fight you back. So in all honesty, you guys, this is a storyline that makes sense. It's kind of refreshing. It's kind of new. And I'm looking forward to seeing this happen at the Backlash pay-per-view. I can guarantee it's going to happen on that. I'm willing to put money on it. But we go into our first matchup, which is AJ Styles versus Baron Corbin. Very good matchup, actually, to say the least. Kevin Owens was on commentary talking about his title defense, of course, on Sunday against Jericho, as well as his possible next defense against AJ Styles. Now, matchup ends with AJ Styles going for the phenomenal forearm, but Kevin Owens tries to stop him. AJ Styles pushes him away. Baron Corbin counters the phenomenal forearm, but AJ Styles counters into a roll-up pin and pinning Baron Corbin 1-2-3 in the ring. AJ Styles celebrates, but only for a short time because Kevin Owens and Baron Corbin beat him down. Here comes Sami Zayn to save the day. Haluva kick to Baron Corbin. Bam, smashing. Nice little attack by Kevin Owens, attacking Sami Zayn, and then a pop-up powerbomb to AJ Styles by Kevin Owens. And Kevin Owens looking very strong. Again, it's a storyline that makes sense. It's pretty awesome. I am loving it. It just looks like it's going to be a very good matchup. I mean, if you haven't seen AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens last year, I think it was, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was last year, if I'm not mistaken, where the two of them faced off in a one-on-one matchup. It was awesome. It was incredible. And honestly, I'm loving to see the idea of these guys going at it again, this time for the United States Championship. And I wouldn't mind seeing Styles win the title and maybe have Kevin Owens fight off against Randy Orton for the title, because Orton versus Kevin Owens would be an amazing, amazing idea. It could be a reality. Also, Styles versus Orton, Orton versus Sami Zayn. There's a lot of good matches that you can really see here with Orton and whoever. Very surprised to see a Jinder Mahal, but I'm not going to really complain too much about it. Well, at least not yet. We move on to a Beat the Clock challenge where 4 teams compete to have the fastest time, and the winning team with the fastest time goes on to face the Usos for the tag team titles at Backlash, apparently. Some people were saying that it was happening this Sunday, but it looks like it's more going to happen at Backlash. So, the 2 matches were the Colognes against American Alpha. Thank God that they dropped the Shining Stars gimmick. And Fabreeze versus the Ascension. The American Alpha team picked up the win and set the pace for 5 minutes and 17 seconds. That was actually a really good time to beat. However, they would not get the fastest time. The people that got the fastest time would be Breezango. This is actually a bit of a shock. They won with 2 minutes, after 2 minutes, about hitting the 2 minute marker from what somebody mentioned. Fandango hit the Falcon Zero on Victor. Somebody thought it was a Michinoku driver. Stop it, Michael Cole. Stop editing these things. You do not know what a wrestling move is anymore. I wish you would go to being an interview. Just go back and be an interviewer. Maybe have his own talk show where nobody could give a rat's ass. But Breezango is going to be getting the tag team title shot. Okay, now it's saying on Sunday. I'm really confused. I don't know if they're saying that it's happening on Sunday or if it's happening at the Backlash pay-per-view. So I'm going to kind of look into that a little bit. But it's kind of a surprise to see this. Breezango picking up the victory. You would think it would make more sense to have the team of American Alpha win. But I can also understand, in retrospect, why they could probably do that. Because here's the thing. SmackDown is indeed the land of opportunity. And the fact that they're giving these kind of opportunities to such of the younger talent is really kind of cool, to say the least. I dig it. I'm interested in seeing how they do the whole Jinder Mahal thing with Randy Orton. Now I'm very interested in seeing what they do with Breezango and the Usos. Obviously, it looks like Breezango are going to be going in as the baby faces, and Jinder Mahal is going in as a massive heel right now against Randy Orton. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that goes. And also, side note, it seems like AJ Styles has turned full babyface after last night. So be sure to cheer extra loud for him because he's AJ Styles. He's phenomenal. What do you expect? I mean, damn it, it's AJ Styles. So this is where things get a little bit hairy for me because I didn't like what they really did here. Randy Orton defeated Eric Rowan in a no disqualification matchup, hitting him with an RKO, of course, and then Randy Orton starts to talk about the House of Horrors match against Bray Wyatt this Sunday, which is now apparently a non-title matchup. So that is indeed confirmed. That is just a regular, hardcore, stylish match between the two of them. They're going to fight in the House of Horrors and then make their way into the arena, from what I'm understanding. I'm honestly hoping, a lot of people have said this, and I listened to the whole effing show the other day. They're hoping that it's going to be almost like the Final Deletion. Honestly, I said this a few weeks ago. For this matchup, just go all out. Don't hesitate about anything. Make this one of the most memorable matches that people will ever see. Make it like the Final Deletion. Add some things to it. Have Matt Hardy be the freaking producer for this. I mean, damn, it would be awesome. It'd be amazing. But the reason why I didn't like this angle here was that after Randy Orton tried to continue talking about Bray Wyatt, here comes Jinder Mahal with the Bollywood Boys, a.k.a. the Singh brothers, I think they're called. I can't exactly tell what their names are. I don't know exactly. But Jinder Mahal comes out, cuts a pretty volatile promo. But then that's when the attack comes in, and Jinder says that he will take the WWE Championship at Backlash. They beat him down. Jinder Mahal hits this, Cobra Clutch slam, made famous by Ted DiBiase. I'm wondering how many people really get that reference. But, it was... The problem I had with this was that it took so much focus off of the House of Horrors matchup. They're making it seem like, we don't care about that matchup. Let's just focus more on the build-up between Jinder Mahal and Randy Orton now, which I'm hoping will mean that Bray Wyatt's going to get the victory on Sunday. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. I'm praying to God that happens because Bray Wyatt deserves a big victory after WrestleMania because WWE screwed him. I'm not bitter. I'm just upset with how that happened. All right. But, but the interesting part about this that I guess was a bit of a redeeming quality was Jinder Mahal actually taking the WWE title and leaving with it. So now Randy Orton's going to be more sadistic. He's going to be twisted. He's going to be the apex predator. He's going to hunt for Jinder Mahal, and he's going to try and take his title back. Honestly, like I said, I hated the fact that they transitioned it so crappily. But had they not done that, I loved this angle 100%. I wish that they would have focused more on the House of Horrors matchup. If it was Bray Wyatt instead of Jinder Mahal, that would have made more sense. That would have made a lot more sense. But they just did not care about it, apparently. They brushed it off like it was nothing. I'm a little bit peeved about that. But what are you going to do? All right, so we move on to the main event matchup, which features Naomi versus Charlotte for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Very good matchup. We see, great athleticism by Naomi, great ring presence by Charlotte. This was a good matchup, to say the least. But after Naomi attempts to do like a Frankensteiner, Charlotte reverses it into a sit-out powerbomb for a 2 count. Now, after that happens, this new group of Tamina, Natalya, Carmella, and James Ellsworth comes out. So, interesting faction here, to say the least. They attack Naomi and Charlotte. Tamina hit a super kick on Charlotte. Natalya orders Tamina to grab Charlotte again, and Tamina holds up Charlotte for a super kick by Carmella. Ellsworth just comes in. He celebrates with the group, and Charlotte and Naomi are down. They hit up the ramp as Naomi and Charlotte recover at ringside as SmackDown goes off the air. Well, first things first, it's a great matchup. I love that they kind of gave it a bit of a not full-on conclusion. But this new faction of Tamina, Natalya, Carmella, and James Ellsworth just it's weird. It really is weird. I can understand why they wanted to do